Narcissists are the most cursed creatures in this world and very disgusting. Be careful, dear everyone, because this is the story of a narcissist unlike any other, one who is bigger, sneakier, and lives in the darkest parts of our minds. In his words, Jesus himself warned us, "Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing." In fact, this is the sneaky narcissist who works their way into our lives in ways we can't even imagine. Oh, my buddy, welcome back to our channel, where we talk about the hardest things in life and give advice that will last forever. If our journey together has helped you see things more clearly, I'd like to ask you to subscribe and tap that bell so you don't miss any of our shared times of clarity. When we think about what a narcissist is, we often picture someone who is mean and abusive. Their real nature is easy to see if you have good eyes. But the narcissist we'll talk about today is a master of disguises. He or she is a chameleon who carefully pretends to be friendly, sweet, and easygoing. But don't be fooled, because underneath this enticing surface is a monster that eats ego, entitlement, and self-righteousness like there's no tomorrow. This is the face of a narcissist, my dear reader. Their bad nature affects our lives in ways we can't even imagine. At this time, you might be thinking, wait, that sounds a lot like a hidden narcissist. Yes, you'd be right, but there's a small point to make. This isn't just any covert narc. We're going into the world of the Christian covert narcissist, a liar who dresses in religious clothes. They call themselves Christ followers and have mastered the language, maybe even using your words, but their hearts are far from truly following Christ's way. Be careful, because there are many dogs among them who look like sheep. Today, let's make sense of their strange behavior so you can follow the advice in Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. So, without further ado, let's look at the 8 strange things a Christian covert narcissist does. Please bear with me as I say this. Contradictory trait number 1. It's sweet on the outside but strangely dull on the inside. This two-sided nature might be good for a snack, like a candy bar with 2 different tastes, but it's not good for building a healthy relationship. The Christian covert narcissist gives off an air of kindness and love, but in reality, it's just a thinly veiled act that's being played up for good measure. They know that if you looked deeper, you would see that they aren't very interesting, so they work hard to make their skin look appealing. In deep conversations, their shallowness comes out quickly, and the water isn't deep enough for a good swim. But people who only walk along the shore may not notice this contradiction right away. Now let's talk about the second strange thing that the Christian covert narcissist says that makes no sense. Do you remember being kind to someone who made you feel understanding and sympathy, only to feel like you were tricked later on? You feel uneasy when you give a sympathetic ear, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Maybe someone cries as they talk about how hard it is to make ends meet, making you think hard about their situation. But soon after, you find out that they made up an elaborate sad story to get you to feel bad for them, so they could get what they wanted. The Christian covert narcissist loves to be the helpless victim and rely on other people. This is the mysterious part of their personality that leads you to believe things that aren't true. On the one hand, they're the victim and deserve your deepest sympathy, but on the other, they easily shift their load onto others instead of taking it on themselves. Let's look at the third inconsistency that makes the Christian covert narcissist hard to understand. Kind but not nice. At first glance, being nice seems friendly and agreeable, which are both easy to fake. Niceness, on the other hand, is shallow and doesn't require anyone to give up anything for someone else. The Christian covert narcissist is not real. Their main goal is to make everyone like them, and they care more about how they look than who they are as a person. It shows that this person has a strange contradiction. On the outside, they seem nice, but their shallowness keeps them from being truly kind. Now let's talk about the fourth one, which is quoting text without really knowing what it says. The Christian covert narcissist knows how to change the Bible to fit their own needs. They know enough about the Bible to be a serious threat, and they even use God's words when it suits their purposes. Some of the bad things the enemy does are use lies, which are just parts of the truth, to confuse people who don't know better. This makes the Christian covert narcissist even more dangerous because they can twist the words of God to fit their own needs. So, the confusing inconsistency of the Christian covert narcissist is still with us. The fifth strange thing a Christian covert narcissist does is that they often say one thing but do another. They have taken the word hypocrite to a whole new level. Because of their double standards, many people have turned away from Christ. They will talk about how much they want a good relationship, but they won't do anything to make it happen. They will give you rules to follow, but they won't follow them themselves. If you try to talk to them, they'll give you every excuse in the book until they get what they want or you give up. The Christian covert narcissist doesn't want to build real relationships because all they want is people who will do what they want. So, we have yet another difference. The sixth thing a Christian covert narcissist does is that even though they have the words, the paper, and the music, they don't do anything with them. The narcissist has confused tones, like someone who can't hold a note but can sing the right words. It's hard and stressful to go through, but when it comes to a Christian covert narcissist, it's harder to spot the difference. They seem to say all the right things, but underneath the surface is always a victim's complaint. They may try to cheer you up, but their words are always tinged with envy. I once heard a woman say, "I sometimes feel like I have to put myself down in order to help her." It's like the Christian covert narcissist writes the words, but it's up to others to make the music. This is just one more confusing contradiction to add to the list. Seventh on our list of strange things about Christian covert narcissists is that they seem grateful, but are actually rude. When they can, these wolves in sheep's clothes know how to take advantage of other people. They will say things like, "I'm so lucky," and "thank you so much" to show their thanks, but then they will feel entitled to anything they can get their hands on. That's why they always look for nice people, those who don't know what's coming and want to help. Contradiction number 8 is that they did something kind even though they mostly took from others. The Christian covert narcissist puts on a show of selflessness to trick people into thinking they are caring and helpful. They usually choose jobs that help people, like caretakers, social workers, or office assistants. Their fragile egos are boosted by their jobs, which make them feel strong and important. But be careful, because their true nature as takers will soon come to the surface. Their true nature is always bubbling under the kind exterior. A Christian's life is one of service and submission, but a Christian covert narcissist lives as if the world swirls around them. If you try to stop them, you just give them more information to help them get better at what they do and trick the next person who doesn't know what's going on. The Christian covert narcissist is like a chameleon in that it can change colours and fit in with its surroundings. Don't be fooled by how grateful and kind they seem. In reality, they are cruel and only care about themselves. We can't keep letting people call us the problem when we point out their flaws, no matter how strange or confusing it may be. We have to change how we deal with the Christian covert narcissist sometimes. Stay true to God and be patient, because the truth will always come out. Matthew 7:16 says, "You'll know them by the fruit they produce." Ever think about how a narcissist might understand what you say? Check out this interesting show to learn more. Join my online course, Narcissism 101, if you're ready to set limits with a narcissist in your life. It talks about early warning signs, getting out of the trap, and rebuilding your life. While you're down there, you can get a free copy of my book, Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. It's a gift from me to help you find your way through the confusing and complicated world of the Christian covert narcissist.